Hey YouTube, we were live streaming and I had a comment today about Liliya, Velyn or Waldyr build. So I was anyways going to make a video about building your mage troops and this was the inspiration. So we are live streaming currently and we will build our mages with you guys and with the stream as well. Yeah, we have Liliya images on the chat as well. Okay, so I will showcase Liliya talent tree first and I will explain why. But sneak peek, your villain talents doesn't matter. Uh, don't need to ask me or anyone else or internet about a villain build. You don't need to equip villain artifacts or villain pets. Your villain should be a deputy at all times. Okay, guys. Even if you are completely free to play, instead of Liliya, you will be using Waldyr main, and villain will still be your deputy. And as I said in a previous video about how to make your legions properly, your deputy's talents doesn't matter. Your deputy's pet and artifact doesn't matter. All you need from your deputy is its skills, half the troop capacity, and star bonuses if you are in season 2. So because you don't need talents from your deputy, it doesn't matter what you build your talents on your villain. It has no effect on your troops. What you need for your mages, it's very simple. I will show it on my wall here. You need this skill tree, guys, on your mages. It's on the name. By the way, this skill tree is wrong, so I will reset it as well for you guys. What you need is basically skill tree, and it is very obvious you are playing mages. Mages do skills. It's on the name. So that's why you have to use Waldyr if you are free to play completely, or even if you have just 5-1-1-1 Liliya, just go for Liliya main, guys, and get the skill tree. I will show you how to build it, but basically the reason we have Velyn as a deputy at all times because it doesn't have a skill tree. Instead of the skill tree, it has control, which you don't need on your mages. Let me show you how to build your skill tree, and then I will explain the pets as well. So this is not optional. You have to get attack. Some people prefer to go for faster marches on their units, which I respect if you want to get somewhere faster. But I also want to be a stronger one versus one opponent versus other mages, so I go for defense. But keep it in mind, mages is not a one versus one unit. You don't need your mages on behemoths. You don't need your mages to one versus one cavalry or archers. You don't do rallies with your mages. Mages are AoE units. They do damage on multiple enemies. So usually you want them to do AoE attacks on open field battles. So if you go for march speed, it's not such a bad mistake. But I still want the option to be able to use my mages on one versus one, at least versus other mages. And this is going to be HP, obviously. It's not even optional. And you go here. As I said, you go here, guys. You need skills on your mages. Mages are supposed to be casting skills. No counter attacks, no auto attacks. All you need is hero skill damage. You're playing mages, okay? In here, we are going for more rage because, as I said, you need to be casting skills. Here, you have to be very careful. Many people are going for this because it says more skill damage. But actually, if you are running more rage here, you will do less damage, yes, compared to this one, but you will have so much more rage that by the time you are casting this twice, this will be casted 3 times. So overall, your damage output is going to be higher with this one, and your Velyn Liliya will be casting skills non-stop. And this is going to be less normal attack, but more hero skill damage. As I said earlier, you don't care about normal attacks, you don't care about counter attacks. All you need is hero skill damage, guys. And rage, obviously. In here, this is very crucial, guys. I will explain this later, but you have to, and I say have to, this is very important. You have to get 1 point on concentration. It's this skill, okay? 1 point. When casting rage skills, your legion gains shelter. Here, shelter is not important. What it is important here is to get a buff. and shelter is a buff on your religion, I will explain just in 3 seconds. Here is more hero skill crit rate. Obviously, we are going for this one. And here is more hero skill crit damage. Obviously, we are going for this one. And now we are coming to choose the final skill for final talent build. This used to be the go-to talent before, but this is nerfed. So you have to go for this one. This is overall better output for your damage. And this is the tricky part, guys. When gaining a buff effect, blah, 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 you do more hero skill damage. You get synergy, you do more hero skill. When do I get synergy? When I get a buff. What happens when I get synergy? I get more hero skill damage. Well, double. Velyn or Liliya doesn't gain buffs. Yes, that's why you need this. You need to get shelter here. Also, another trick, whatever pet you're using, which I will explain your options, whatever pet you're using, you want your pet to have this skill, Heart Wall, 10% chance to gain shield. This shield will also count as a buff on your legion, so it will trigger the synergy passive on your talent build. So that is why you want at least 1 point here and fully max this, so you have shield from the pet and shelter from this skill, so you can activate your synergy and gain even more skill damage. As I said, you're playing mages, you're not attacking normally, you're not counter-attacking, you want skills, fireballs and ice balls, whatever you're sending in. And then when you are done with this should be your build here. You can go left, not optional, get HP. And then with the remaining points, you get rage. More rage, guys, more rage. My Liliya is not level 60, but even if it was level 60, I would have given 2 more points here. And then you could have chosen one extra thing to put on, which doesn't really matter. You can go for a little bit more rage, or you can go for HP bypass, but one talent is not the end of the world. What it is really important on this build is to get these skill buffing talents, skill damage talents, as well as the synergy one, and to activate synergy gaining shelter. This is what is important on your mages. If you are free to play and you think that you should run Velyn and Waldyr, you're wrong. Your Velyn must be deputy. You will run your Waldyr as main hero and you will do the same build. Okay, guys? You see, it's the same talents. You will do the same build exactly as I shown in Liliya. You go for synergy again, you get 1 point in shelter and get skill damage. That's why you have to use Waldyr main and Velyn deputy secondary, because Velyn doesn't have skill tree. And you wouldn't believe how important it is for you to have that skill tree so that your mages can keep casting skills over and over and over again, guys. And as for the pets, you have a few options. You can play with Sapphire Drake. You can play with Thunder Lizard. You can play with Ice Lizard. I've tried Ice Lizard as well. Maybe it would be fun if you are free to play and you are using Velyn Waldyr, both ice mages. It could be fun to have Ice Lizard as well. It's not bad, and I would actually appreciate the team. Ice Lizard, Ice Mages would be fun combo. But I'm running Sapphire Drake on my Liliya just because I think it's looking cuter, and I happen to have some good skills on it. And usually, Pain Bloom is the go-to mage pet. I would say if this is S tier, Ice Lizard would be A plus. It's not far behind. It's a little bit less useful, but still, it's a good, decent pet. This is maybe B plus. So I would suggest Drake or Sapphire Drake or Ice Lizard next. But definitely, if you are playing Waldyr Velyn, forget about the S tier. Just go for Ice once. It's cool. Remember, it's a game. You also need to have fun. And I want to show you one little thing at the end. If you are humans, or maybe you call it the Sacred Order faction, I call them human faction, you will be having flying mages. And for your flying mages, my Atheist here is level 30 because my account here is elves. I will go to my human account, which you might call the Sacred Order, whatever it is called, and I'll show you a little Atheist build as well. Don't worry, I will make a separate video for flying units especially, But just because this is a magic unit video, just for the sake of the magic units, I want to also show you like a small build. It's not finished yet, but you can use this on your ATS. And remember, your ATS in human faction should be your main hero. Tia is deputy, Atius is main hero. You have to have a flying pet on your flying legions so that your legion can fly. And obviously, this is the flying mage pet here. And as I said, there will be a separate video for flyers, but just in case you need the build I showed you, you can stop the video there and take the build. But I will explain in further detail in the future for those flyers as well. But just so you have it, guys. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I hope it was useful for everyone. And I hope to see you guys in the future again. Bye bye.